Welcome to MiSpot, where we balance, heal, and activate who we truly are. You can call me High Key Kiki. And tonight we're celebrating the full moon in Libra. So there's definitely an energy of like liftoff, like taking off. Um, that song has come up a lot for me. Even listening to Wall Street Trapper last night, he actually sung the song, and I was just like, "What?" I didn't expect him to like even know the song, but it is on Watch the Throne. So, um, and then we also had like a moon launch today. Artemis um, is going around the moon, so Artemis is actually going to like circle around the back side of the moon and be able to see, the side of the moon that no one sees, that always stays in the shadow. So hopefully you'll get some pictures, but they'll be able to see that. Um, Thunderstorms have been significant as well. I really enjoy thunderstorms. The rain in general, not all day, all the time, every day, but I definitely like the energy that comes with a rain shower. And one came through this evening and it had thunder. I actually just saw some lightning like right before I hit the go live button. And I was looking back like, was that lightning? So it feels like spring has sprung. The weather has been wonderful, or at least very warm. And sometimes we can have seasons like that where like the transition seasons like don't stick around long. It just gets really warm really fast. Come on in, come on in, come on in. So that's the energy that I am feeling with this full moon in Libra. Um, just like a lot of Kickstarter taking off kind of energy, and hopefully that's resonating. It's definitely giving an energy where things are like balancing out. Things are, you know, kind of like not stagnant, but just steady or consistent. I'm trying to get the right word to describe. It's very calm. That's the energy. The energy right now feels very calm. There wasn't too much going on in the sky last week. And then the shift that we did feel or experience is a very grounded, very loving, supportive energy. So hopefully you're feeling that. And then, of course, with the full moon being in Libra, you should also be feeling, more of that love and compassion and balancing out. There could definitely be some karma spinning the block as well. Um, that's something that I'll dig a little bit deeper into later. But let's just go ahead and ground our energy. So go ahead and sit back and sit up straight. Allow your feet to be planted nice and gently, comfortably balanced on the floor or just underneath you. Whatever position is comfortable and just allows you to feel at ease. Just go ahead and start taking your deep breaths in through the nose, long exhales out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, and long breaths out through the mouth, just allowing your shoulders to relax and soften. Again, in and out. And we'll just take this moment to reconnect ourselves with the energy of the earth, allowing ourselves to tap into a very calm, supportive, secure, safe, and balanced energy. An energy that allows our nervous system to relax. With every exhale, we get more and more comfortable. Our faces soften, our forehead relaxes, our jaws lower. We allow our necks to feel straight and soft. And as we continue to breathe in and out, exhaling all tension, all stress, all tightness with each breath. As we give ourselves this moment to reconnect to our breath, and taking a moment to tap into all that is. And as you continue focusing on your relaxation and your breath work, I'll take this opportunity to call in our spirit teams of love, light, connected closest to the sun, divine healing, guardian angel ancestors. We call you in along with our archangels, ascended masters, as we set the intention to ground, balance, heal, and activate our energy under this full moon in Libra. We thank you for always being our source of support, guidance, and grounding. We feel safe and secure. And we thank you for all that you do from this point forward. It is done. And when you're ready, you can slowly bring your awareness back to the room by wiggling your toes, fluttering your fingers, and slowly opening your eyes. Nice. Okay, so yeah, what are your dreams like at this moment? Have you been dreaming? Are you seeing visions or things in your dreams that you've been able to retain, images you've been able to retain? I'm just going to give a little tidbit of what I saw in my dream. It was either last night or the night before, but it actually came back to me towards the end of the day. And it was, I remember waking up in my bed and opening my eyes, and there were two ATM machines in my bedroom. There were two ATM machines in my bedroom. What does that mean? Right? What does that mean? That's also something we're going to get into later on. After we pull the cards, we'll get into a little bit of the stock market, because I do want to understand people's thoughts on what's happening in the economy, and if you see it as an opportunity, or if you're kind of struggling to see it as an opportunity and it seems more like a challenge or more like a risk that you don't want to take. Okay, so let's definitely talk about that. Before I get into the sky, there was one other thing. Yeah, that's another thing. So whether it be your dreams or whether it's like real life and you're realizing, or that's physical, the 3D realm, where you could be witnessing some karma. You could be witnessing um, some karma of your own, whether it's seeds that you planted to manifest certain things. Maybe you're learning lessons. Maybe you realize where you may have planted some seeds that weren't so beneficial or weren't so great, right? But you could definitely be also witnessing the karma of people around you that may not have treated you the way that you deserve to be treated, may have betrayed you, or I don't know, just did you wrong in some way. It could be lied to you, it could be used you, abused you, whatever the case. Come on in. Happy full moon in Libra during this lovely Aries season. But yeah, there is a energy of karma, and I say that because you could be getting like even phone calls. You may even get like a phone call from someone that might even be like telling on themselves. Like they could be calling you and just kind of, whether it's a normal conversation, this is somebody you talk to all the time, or at least on a regular basis, and it's a normal conversation, they're telling you some things that they may have experienced over the last like few weeks, and you're like, wow, that sounds actually kind of familiar. I remember when you did that to me. You know what I mean? Or just kind of, and it's not something that we're wishing on people or anything like that, but you're seeing and witnessing some of how people's behaviors have played out. And like I said, you could be getting it firsthand directly from the source. Um, you could also be experiencing it like instant karma, like you're seeing it like almost instantly. It's almost like as soon as something happens, and I'm not to take things personal or anything like that, but it's like as soon as something happens, very quickly you're able to see the outcome of that situation and how it may not have worked out great for certain energies or certain spirits. I'll say it's not the person, right? It's the spirit. Scripture tells us that we fight against spirits and principalities of darkness or evil in high places. So we really just sometimes can see how certain energies, I don't want to say the word demons, but you know what I mean, just low vibrational energies or whatever the case, you're kind of witnessing some of that instant karma. It's been happening, and you also could be just kind of feeling some level of validation. That's where those scales with that Libra energy comes in to like balance things out. There's like justice being served. That's maybe seeing karma, instant karma, or like I said, people could just be kind of telling on themselves. Like you talk to them and you realize like, wow, they actually realized something about themselves. You know what I mean? Um, so that's the energy that I'm getting. Okay, you could definitely be feeling more balanced, more confident in yourself, and you're kind of settling into that energy. It's not a very fast, like, I feel like Aries season just kind of got here. Like now, it's April 1st. Um, we just kind of got here. I guess that's not fair to the March Aries, but we're kind of halfway, through at this point. So I feel like at the first couple weeks, that Aries energy was just kind of like rooting itself, grounding itself, if that makes sense. Um, and I just feel like there's definitely, I've been talking about this takeoff kind of energy for a while now. But it's like, we're that fire horse, that race horse that's like just ready to waiting for the doors to open so we can just jet. That's that's what we're like preparing for. Okay. So let's talk about the sky. Let me know if that resonates, okay? Any of that. Um, yeah, I talked about Artemis. So the Artemis journey, I think, is going to be like 10 days. I literally just kind of heard about it. And it was on the news or whatever, at least world news. So, but that's happening like right now. They went out today. They launched today. Okay. So as far as the sky goes, not too much has shifted in the last couple weeks. Like I said, on the 23rd of March, Venus shifted into Taurus. I actually thought I had that incorrect when it was just the date was off. But Venus did shift into the sign of Taurus. So Venus feels at home in the sign of Taurus. Okay. Venus rules Taurus. So that loving, attractive, beautiful, like values driven kind of energy feels very settled in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is a very grounded, reliable, could be a little stubborn kind of energy. But I feel like it's kind of good to be stubborn in love, especially when you maybe balancing out like self-love and love for others. It's good to be able, because sometimes we do tend to pour a lot into others. So a lot of times it's good sometimes when we can just feel really good within ourselves. Of course, like we're no good for anybody else, right? We can't be good for ourselves. So that's what that Taurus in Venus, I'm sorry, Venus in Taurus energy feels like. So that happened on March 23rd. Um, yeah, of course, these things can vary depending on like how things play out in your chart, but in general bell curve astrology, these tend to be the energy, or the energy that most of the collective may experience. So I would definitely say take a look to see what astrological house Taurus rules for you, where Venus could be placed in your natal chart, and you could feel an activation in those areas in that particular astrological house. And you could also feel the activation of where the planet Venus is in your own natal chart. If you have a Venus in Taurus, you could definitely be feeling this energy, right? And then what sign Taurus rules for you? What house Taurus rules for you? All right. So that's really the latest thing. But ever since then, for the past over a week, and even this week, we're pretty stationary. I mean, we do have a stellium in the sign of Aries. That's three or more, planets or energetic bodies, or planet bodies, I guess, like including the sun. It could include the moon. And right now, of course, we had Saturn and Neptune recently shift into into Aries. Saturn and Neptune recently shifted into Aries. They'll be there for some time, at least 2 years, at least, right? Those planets have very long transits. They're far out. So they do tend to carry a societal kind of shift. Okay, they tend to impact generations. So they're supporting us with this kickoff, initiative, leadership type of energy that comes with Aries. There's also different places in the world right now that are celebrating the new year. There are a lot of places that, celebrate the new year in the spring, along with the astrological new year. So, more Kickstarter, more revving up kind of energy. 2026 has a lot to offer, especially when it comes to new beginnings. So, if you're having trouble with letting go or ending something that may be holding you back or stopping you from moving forward, you're being supported this year to kick off that energy. So, just don't miss it. Like the whole purpose of these celebrations is for us to time our best life if we can. It's not to get obsessed, it's just to be able to be in flow versus being in force. All right, so let's move on. I think that was all I needed to say for, yeah, Taurus, Venus, yeah. And not to mention, not only does Venus rule Taurus, Venus also rules Libra, where the moon is right now. So the full moon that we're celebrating, of course, is in the sign of Libra. So also supported by Venus. So to me, it's a very calm, like supported kind of energy. And I'll say, if you're not feeling supported, I would say dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper if you're not really feeling supported, because you could be getting the support from a place that you might be overlooking. You could be getting the support from a place like outside of, where you might be looking for it. Sometimes we can be so focused on what they say, you can't see the forest for the trees. Like, you're focused on, like, maybe support coming from one particular place, but you're getting it in multiple places from multiple people or multiple energies, multiple spirits, if you will. Okay. Um, so we're closing out a lot of that Piscean fog, any type of delusion, illusions, anything that's not grounding us or not allowing us to hold healthy boundaries. That's that's what's happening, and we're being supported in the sky like tremendously with that. So of course I mentioned Saturn and Neptune in Aries. The Sun, of course, is also in Aries. Chiron is also in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. That's the energy of your purpose, what you had to go through to learn what you had to learn so that you could maybe save someone else or save others, in general. Like what your purpose is, what your life mission is, what you are here to accomplish and to do. That's what that Chiron energy is. So all of this energy being in the sign of Aries is just really a confirmation of continuing to trust our intuition, continuing to trust the lessons that we've learned, applying the lessons that we've learned, and continuing to move forward. Okay, we're not holding on to dead weight. We're not holding on to things that are not spiritually uplifting us, physically, financially, mentally, emotionally. If it's holding us down or bringing us, like, pulling us backwards, we're releasing all of that. Okay, we've been doing that for a while too. What else? So Mercury is in Pisces, so is Mars. So they'll be shifting soon. Those planets carry a very, like, quick, like, swift kind of energy. They move pretty fast. So they're going to, just kind of wrap up the last little residual delusion that we could be carrying and just pushing us forward into this fire energy and, like, burning up the illusion. So we're really being able to truly call things for what they are, seeing things for what they are, and accepting things for what they are, even people, accepting people for what they are. But there's a level of validation. Validation is not the right word. There's a level of, it's like understanding, like you're not fighting against it, you're calm with it, you find peace, and it's like, well, at least I know the truth. It may not be what I want it to be, but at least I know that I can't get what I need there, and I'm thankful that I know that. I'm thankful that I know better. That's kind of like we're growing up, that's the energy. We're growing up. Okay. Venus in Taurus. Jupiter has been in Cancer for a while. He'll be there till the end of June, early July. Uranus is also in the sign of Taurus. Uranus, maybe like a month ago, went station direct. So he'll be going back into the sign of Gemini. I'm looking forward to that. And then Pluto, of course, is in Aquarius. So yeah, that's what's going on in the sky. So not too much ruckus, not too much shifting, just a very loving, grounded Venus, flowy, um, grounded energy. Okay, that's what's going on in the sky. All right, so let me talk a little bit about what's happening for each sign. So for each sign, the moon represents our emotions, right? The moon represents, like, hidden things. It represents things that are connected to water. Like the moon rules the sign of Cancer, a water sign, right? People can often say Cancers are emotional, or tapped in emotionally. Um, and the moon's energy tends to reflect some of our hidden things, our secret things, our behind closed doors, at home kind of energy, right? And so when the sun is shining that spotlight on the full moon, by the way, have y'all seen the moon? Like, well, I don't think I can see it right now, but like last night, or even if you can see it right now, it may not be cloudy where you are, but It was beautiful. I think it's a pink moon actually. If I'm not mistaken, it's a pink moon, but really beautiful moon. And it's been looking very full just over the past couple days. Like I think it reached its peak today, but yesterday and even the night before, very eye catching, very bright and eye catching, and it looked pretty full, but it wasn't, of course, at its peak. So um, just very, like I said, very loving, very supportive. And I've been talking about this emotional supportive energy, just kind of feeling very confident and stable in our emotions. And that's what's allowing us to stay strong, or at least stay grounded with letting go of what's fake, what's not real, that kind of stuff. Okay. All right. So for the signs, so Libra, this moon is highlighting your first house of self, appearances, and beginnings. It's an energy of like breaking through, being courageous, being assertive, okay? How you show yourself to the world. It could represent your ego, how you present, okay? That's what this moon is highlighting for you. So this moon is allowing you to release and clear out any blockages in those areas, releasing and clearing out anything that's stopping you from being courageous, that's stopping you from pioneering, okay? It's stopping you from having a new beginning. All right. So Libras, you could definitely be feeling this energy. Libra suns and risings. I definitely think that Libra moons could also be feeling this energy. Hopefully you're not feeling too emotional, but it could be that. And that's just a reminder to just stay grounded. Okay, listen to a grounding meditation, go for a walk, go outside, just reconnect to the earth, hug a tree, that kind of thing. Okay, listen to the rain. Like I plan to sleep like with the windows open tonight. Like I think it's gonna be great. All right. So next is Scorpio. Scorpio, this moon is highlighting your second house of love, values, attraction, relationships, partnerships, finances. Um, you could also be feeling supportive with like a balancing of energy. You could be feeling just more stable. Could be witnessing some things kind of playing out and like things come into fruition, whether it's karma, for lack of a better word, or whether it's something that you might have manifested for yourself. Maybe 6 months ago, you may have planted a seed and you could be seeing some of the results of those seeds, whatever they are, however they are. You could be experiencing that. This energy is just calling for you to, again, stay grounded. Um, hmm, Scorpio. Yeah, a lot of love. I can't really stress it any. It's just like we're coming in alignment with those that are like on our level, on our frequency, speaking our language. We're mentally compatible, emotionally compatible. That's kind of the energy. It's like alignment. Just partnerships are aligned. You could be feeling it at work. It's really great if you're feeling you know good partnerships and good support at work. Could have started something new at work as well, like a new project or a new site, a new client, like just something new, something starting up, something new to you. All right, Sagittarius, this moon is highlighting. Did I do that right? Hold on. I hope I did that right. Wait, let me just make sure I'm not tripping. Scorpio. Yeah. Oh crap. Hold on. Hold on. bad. I think this is right. Because Libra is Scorpio's 12th house. So that would be going backwards. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think good. So sometimes I think with the full moons the signs go like in order, and then with the new moons they go in reverse when it comes to the houses that are highlighted, if that makes sense. So Sag, let's see here. Hold on, I can just do a quick check. Scorpio, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Libra. Oh no, I did that wrong. Libra would be Scorpio's 12th house. Hang on. My bad. So that really was a message for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. My bad. That really was a message for Virgo. That second house energy is for Virgo. Let's see here, Virgo. Hang on one second. Yeah. This moon is Virgo. This moon is highlighting your 12th house. Hold up. This is what happens when you. Yeah. No. It's highlighting Virgo's second house, Scorpio's 12th house. So let's go back to Scorpio. Virgo, I'll get you in a second. So Scorpio, this moon is highlighting your 12th house of spirituality, wisdom, intuition, okay? All things eternal, all things above, all things unseen. All right, what's stopping you from manifesting where you want to be in that regard? What's stopping you or blocking you from moving forward or trusting your intuition more? What's stopping you? Okay, what's in the way? What do you want this full moon to shine a light on so we can clear it out and we're able to plant new seeds in 2 weeks under that new moon energy? What are we releasing? What do we need to release? Okay, when it comes to our empathic, inquisitive, like imagination, what have we been reflecting on? Okay, your dreams. What illusions do you want to let go of? That's the energy, Scorpio. All right, Sagittarius. This moon is highlighting your 11th house. Your 11th house of friendships, aspirations, groups, like your long-term goals, your network, who you're surrounded by, and how you move like forward through life. How you collaborate, how innovative you are. It could also be a time where you might be finding yourself, maybe isolating a bit. Yeah. You could be like feeling, one day you're liking people and the next day not so much. So it's just like what's how do you want to grow in your relationships? Like what relationships do you want to release, or what types of relationships, types of spirits that you have relationships with that you want to release and let go so that you can manifest the connections with those relationships that are in alignment. More support from this Libra full moon. Okay, all about alignment and partnerships and attraction, things of that sort, balance, harmony. Okay, so soak it up, Sag. Like soak it up, allow the energy to support you and allow yourself to kind of bask in it. And don't be afraid to go within if you need to. Okay, Capricorn, this moon is highlighting your 10th house of career, reputation, and authority. You should feel very at home here. um, this energy, you probably feel that support, some of that comfort, maybe even some confidence. Okay, you could be feeling very driven, very disciplined, and even like conservative. Like you might just be feeling just kind of chilled out, like you could be loving it. There's nothing wrong with that. It could be at work. It could be just your reputation outside of work. It could be how you assert yourself, how you present yourself, like the authority that you have over yourself, how you govern yourself. You could be being called to manifest or release things that are blocking you, release energies and spirits or low vibrations that could be holding you back from having that more laid back. It's driven and disciplined, but it's not a fast moving energy. It's just very steady and consistent. It's just the same thing. Not fast, but just like a rhythm, like a routine. Okay, Capricorn, you should be feeling pretty solid and loved in that regard. All right, Aquarius, this moon is highlighting your ninth house. Your ninth house of philosophy, travel, um, I think it's long distance. Yeah, long distance, higher education. Also, just maybe you're being more adventurous or you are looking forward to being more adventurous. Maybe there's something you want to do that you've always wanted to do, and now you're being called to like find the courage and the confidence to assert yourself and do that thing. Maybe something you want to pioneer in, or that you want to like work with others, or um, yeah, yeah. You could just find yourself just being a little more optimistic about kicking some new stuff off. Okay, Aquarius. All right, and then Pisces. This moon is highlighting your eighth house of transformation, intimacy, investments. Um, it could be, you could be being a little more observant. You could be learning like where you could be really intense with things, and maybe you're balancing out some of that intensity, or you could be understanding what things deserve your passion and intensity and what doesn't. Okay. It could be emotional, like it could be an emotional wound, but it could also be, connected to any other aspect of life. It could be work, it could be home, it could be communication, it could be anything, but it could be emotional. But what are you passionate about? What have you learned? What are you willing to transform? What do you want to let die and rebirth? Okay. Where are you finding your power? What's, like I said, what's worth your passion and intensity? Okay, Pisces. And then Aries, this moon is highlighting your seventh house, of course. Seventh house of partnerships, contracts, and public enemies. It's a little more than that. It's your house of justice. It's your house of attraction, harmony, balance. I just always think of the scale just kind of like balancing out, alignment, harmony. This moon is definitely encouraging you to clear out any blocks, obstacles, low vibrational energy when it comes to how you are like interacting, of course, but like who you're aligning yourself with, or who you're agreeing with, who you're in agreement with. Okay, do you find yourself maybe attracting the same type of energies, same type of spirits, and what have you learned after you've done some reflection and some observation? What have you learned from those experiences that you want to change or transform, or you want to release so you can manifest, you know, what you deserve or manifest something that's putting you on your path to fulfill your purpose, right? Because sometimes relationships can hold us back. And we have to learn things about ourselves from those relationships and why we chose those relationships and things of that sort, so that we can learn what it's not, so that we can be able to identify when it is, if that makes sense. Okay. Definitely an energy of being aware of who you're like tying yourself to, recognizing enemies. Like, how do you know? Are there people around you that that aren't necessarily like, don't have your best interests at heart? You know that it's not really going anywhere. Maybe you're around them for fun or something surface level. You're being called to release what's going to hold you back, keep you stagnant. If you have people around you that are haters, that kind of energy, not cheering you on, not rooting for you, not supportive of you, could be kind of leechy. Okay. Just paying attention to partnerships. All right, Taurus, this moon is highlighting your sixth house of health, service, daily routines, um, practical, detailed, oriented energy. Okay. How can you be more practical? How can you be more analytical? Like focusing on the data. What have you been shown? What have you seen? What have you learned through your wisdom and your experience? Okay. Anything else? Taurus. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. Um, Taurus. Hmm. This energy could come with some level of learning or like thinking and communication. Let's see. Are you being detailed with something? Do you have to be detail oriented with something that you could be communicating? Um, yeah, yeah. There's not really much to say there, Taurus. I mean, your season is coming up, so you you might just be kind of chilling in the cut a little bit, just kind of laid back. Definitely a very laid back energy with this moon. Um, Taurus. Yeah, like you could just be staying focused, staying the course, staying very grounded, very consistent, and just staying in routine, staying in rhythm. Like that you're preparing for this kickoff, and you're just being encouraged, supported, and loved on to move into that energy. Okay. Gemini, this moon is highlighting your fifth house of creativity, romance, children, where you're brave, where you are charismatic, where you may be, what you may be proud of, where you may be proud, but like a noble kind of proud. Okay. How are you showing up? Do you like how you're showing up? Are there blemishes in your identity or your purpose that you want to clear out? Are there things that you want to be known better for? Okay. It's like I'm getting self-love kind of energy with that, Gemini. Loving on yourself. What do you love about yourself? And how or what do you want to excel and do better at? Like, how do you want to be seen or remembered, or when it comes to your identity, when it comes to yourself and your purpose? It's a good question. Um, it could be related to your creativity. It could be related to your romance or your children. I'm getting a little bit like a family kind of vibe, like a family dynamic. Like, you could be being called to do something creative or business like, or something with your family, possibly. Okay. But like, what, it's like a legacy kind of energy. What do you want to leave behind kind of energy? All right, that's for Gemini. Cancer, this moon is highlighting your fourth house, a house where you probably feel very good. Your fourth house of home, roots, family, could be like your emotional support system, where you feel nurtured, protected. Okay. What's stopping you from feeling that way? What's stopping you from feeling emotionally stable? What's stopping you from feeling, nurturing or like your best self? What's stopping you? What is there something from home that could have, caused something? Is there something you want or need to release when it comes to family roots or family ties that could be, holding you back in a way? Or you could be being called to like enhance or elevate your nurturing, protective, emotional energy, allowing it to step up, allowing yourself to maybe feel nurtured and supported. Okay. How are your emotions right now? And are you feeling confident in your intuition? Are you feeling confident in what you can produce? Okay, Cancer. And then let's see, Leo. Leo, this moon is highlighting your third house of communication, siblings, short trips, information, inquisitive, like sociable kind of energy. Have you been antisociable? What stops you from being sociable? What seeds do you want to plant when it comes to how you associate or how you socialize? Do you want to be more clever, um, maybe in your communication, or maybe a little more like relaxed, or with how you talk, like you're more playful with your language? Maybe you're not taking things so seriously. You're really learning to communicate in a softer, more understanding kind of place. How you communicate. You could also be learning something when it comes to that, or you could just be thinking about it. It could be, definitely something that's going on like in your head space, where you're thinking of, like your soft skills and how you come off to people, how you come off to others, and what you might want to manifest over the next 6 months, what you want to work on when it comes to that energy. But I'm getting like a lot of like loving, kind words. Like, not saying you're a pushover or super passive, but you're learning how to communicate in a way that can be received. You're learning how to communicate in a way that's a little more emotionally intelligent, um, and maybe compassionate, or just understanding, just more understanding. All right. Next, last but not least, is Virgo. My bad, Virgo. This moon is highlighting your second house. Your second house of love, values, possessions, finances, attraction, relationships, harmony, balance, justice, all of the things. All things diplomatic. Okay. You could be just feeling yourself. Nothing wrong with that. You could be feeling very content and confident in your routines and how you do things, how you work. You could be, proud of yourself for your attention to detail and how it may have allowed you to be successful in something. Like even like a very recent thing, you could have something could have happened, or it could be work related, but you paying attention to details like saved something. It saved either money or time or someone getting hurt or like some type of risk, right? So it's like, what more do you want from this moon? What more do you want to manifest? What more do you want to clear out? Like, was that incident something that allowed you to realize, like, okay, over the next 6 months, I'm going to trust myself more. Okay, that's the energy with this, us shifting into Aries season. Do I want to trust my intuition more, trust my wisdom more, trust what I know more? And one of the best ways I find to do that is through either meditation, breath work. Like stillness is very powerful in a world that's so busy and so distracted with just a whole bunch of noise a lot of times. And then we get a lot of distractions that we don't even look for. Like sometimes, like whatever pops up when you're scrolling just pops up. It's not like you're necessarily controlling it, if you will. So with all of that, we get a lot of unwanted information. It could also be unnecessary information. But with all of that, you do have to find some time to be able to be still and just kind of sit in silence and listen to your thoughts, observe your thoughts. And it's very hard for some people to do that because anxiety may get the best of them. Some people don't like their thoughts. Um, Many people struggle with silence because it's too loud for them. And that is what breath work and meditation, even prayer, will allow us to break through, allowing us to rewrite the narrative, and just kind of observe our thoughts where we're brave enough to ask why and where is that coming from, where is this thought, like that kind of energy, right? So hopefully that resonates. But we're all as a collective definitely being encouraged to trust ourselves more and move on our intuition, move on our discernment. Like take action, move, go. Okay? It's the energy to go. All right. Well, that's it for the sky and the signs. Um, Mars enters Aries next week, but we'll talk about that next week. Yeah, and Mercury. Mars and Mercury are shifting out of Pisces and going into Aries. So we'll have Mercury, Mars, Neptune, Saturn, and the Sun, and Chiron all in Aries. If that's not Kickstarter, like new beginning, drag you across the line kind of energy, I don't know what it is. So don't fight it. Be in flow with it. Okay? Allow it to love on you. Allow it to challenge you so that you can grow and be better. Okay? So we can really be ready for the next thing because we've prepared. We've done all this work on ourselves. Now we are attracting people at a higher vibration, and that's going to allow us to be ready for them to meet us where we are, or us to meet them. But we're meeting, it's like timing is everything when it comes to relationships a lot. At least I think that often. Timing is very important because sometimes you can meet people at a time and space in their lives where they may not be ready to receive you, or they may not have learned what they needed to learn. Maybe they had to go somewhere else, that kind of energy. And that was coming up for us last week too, where it's like sometimes you'll pull a card and you'll get this energy like something from the past is like where you're supposed to be, or someone from the past is or was the one. And it's like I understand, but I also don't think that it's something I necessarily need to act on. I think that what I need to do is make sure that I'm in a mental and emotional um, and spiritual place where I can be my best self in any moment, especially if something from the past resurfaces, where I can respond from my best self. I can respond from my highest, most calm, most healed, most compassionate place. Um, it could be just as simple as forgiveness. It doesn't necessarily mean letting back in or forgetting. I guess people would say forget some things, but you know, it's all about balance. But I would say that we want to be able to respond. So if there's something that resurfaces and we are not at ease, we don't feel calm, we don't feel peace, we don't feel that emotional support. That's why we are experiencing the energy we're experiencing right now, because we need to know what this feels like. So when we come across energy that takes us out of this calm and out of this peace, that's when we're like, you know what, this is where I draw the line. This is where I set my healthy boundary, right? That's where we are. We've learned, we've grown, and now are applying, we are activating the energy. All right. I think that's enough preaching. I'm gonna do the cards and I'm gonna talk a little bit about the stock market. I'm just gonna do Moonology, Rumi, and the angel numbers. Okay, and then we'll talk a little bit about the stock market. 57 minutes even on the clock. So this is a prayer that I got from Mystic Sunflower. I don't watch tarot as much, but Mystic Sunflower had this beautiful prayer that I say all the time. Always go within so you never go without comes from Mystic Tori. And Worldwide Speaks, she's on Instagram. I don't know if she has YouTube, but she's the one that always says, I love you, but God loves you more. And then, of course, I have my own, but I'll save it for the end. But I just wanted to give credit to those people for, just listening to them. Those things are kind of stuck in my mind, and I added them to my channel. So, Holy Spirit, ancestors of divine love and healing light, please protect us as we download the messages for our best and highest good. Anything that's not for our best and highest good, please close, shut, lock, and block that door in the name above all names. Amen and Ashe. All right, let's see what we got. Hey. Yeah, I was gonna say, it looked like something flipped over, and it did. Uh-oh, y'all. A time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. So Virgo, you kind of had like a pretty significant message with the house that this moon is highlighting for you. New moon in Virgo. So of course, a new moon in Virgo happens during Virgo season. I just feel like we're just moving down the zodiac. It's like every celebration we get a confirmation that some season, like almost like consecutively, is going to be fantastic or just kind of like something significant. So a time to give rather than take. And then on the bottom, we have emotions are running high. Super moon. Emotions are running high. And then this Virgo card is green, heart chakra. It's a reminder to me about my 6-week heart chakra program that I need to release like ASAP. I'm also playing heart chakra frequency music. It's been like calling me for the past like 3 to 4 weeks, 3 to 4 different celebrations. So let's see. A time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. When this card comes up, it's time for you to take stock of your situation. Where are you and where do you want to go? The new moon energy of this card suggests a restart, and the Virgo energy suggests you make that restart a clever one that's simple and well organized. Virgo also has a strong health aspect to it. So if you've been unwell, this card suggests that your health is on the up. Virgo loves clean eating and alternate therapies. So add these into your routines now, however you've been feeling. If a situation is blocked at the moment, it could be that you're overanalyzing things or being too critical. It's time to ask less what someone else can do for you and to think more about what you can do for others. Attune with the moon. Recommit to healthy morning and evening routines. Additional meanings, gradual improvements are coming. Pay attention to detail if you want success without being pedantic. I think that's like over the top. I looked it up one time. Be of service to others, and love and money will follow. That's Libra Venus energy, period. The person you're asking about is reliable. The teaching. Virgo is the sign of health, service, and analysis. Its energy is precise and has a feel of the harvest about it. When this card comes up, it could be that a wonderful bounty is coming your way. However, the energy of the new moon in Virgo is usually about getting your life in order. So that's what you need to do at the time of the Virgo new moon and whenever else you pull this card. We getting our lives together, right? Get your life. We getting our lives together, right? So that was that Virgo energy that came up when I was talking about like where you could have done something that paid off. You could have like trusted your intuition, trusted your attention to detail, and it could have like saved time, money, or like some type of risk. It's like we're being encouraged to trust ourselves. It's just nothing else. And then even with the energy of like it's time to ask less of what somebody can do for you and more about what we can do for others. That's that compassionate energy we've been called to. That's that forgiving energy we've been called. We've been called like, okay, we've grown up. Maybe we were delusional about a certain expectation from a certain energy, a spirit, or someone, right? Or even a place. It doesn't have to be a person all the time. It could be a place, it could be a home, it could be a job. There's something that, we may have been acting like we were powerless with. And now we're realizing really how powerful we really are. We're being encouraged to move forward and trust that. Not to get cocky, but definitely to be confident. Okay? Recommit to healthy morning and evening routines. And I will tell you, this morning I got up and I made it my business to go outside and get my 30 minutes in. And I did. And at the moment, I have almost closed all of my rings on my watch. And that's my goal, is to close all rings every day. So I've almost burned 600 calories. I've done 54 minutes of exercise and I've stood for 13 hours today. So the goal is like the weather is breaking. The winter was like crucial. I'm not gonna say brutal because there were parts of it I really enjoyed, but it was cold outside and it was a lot of snow. So, I like to be outside when it comes to activity. All right. So thank you, Holy Spirit, for the confirmation here on the improvements, us being of service, and knowing that being of service to others, the money and love will flow. If that's not, like I said, that's not confirmation of that Venus Libra energy, Venus in Taurus as well, with this full moon in Libra, like we should be feeling very adored, okay? Loved from the heavens. What's a blessing that you've experienced recently? Did you get a bonus? Did you get a pay increase? Did you have a breakthrough at work? You know, are you realizing how supported and loved you are? You know what I mean? Like that kind of energy. But it's a time to give rather than take. Okay. All right. Let's do a Rumi. So definitely focus on that heart chakra. Allow yourself to kind of ground some of, if you're a sign or a person that can tend to have like a lot of thoughts or be in your head space. Sometimes pulling that energy down to your center, your heart space, your heart chakra, which is the bridge between the upper and lower chakras. It will just kind of help to balance it out. Okay. You can definitely ground your energy as well, like physically, or doing a grounding, like meditation or some grounding breath work. But for the most part, I'm getting like a heart space energy of learning to show up for ourselves and showing up for others, learning how to knowing when to hold them, when to fold them kind of energy. All right. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right, let's do a Rumi. So these cards are these are healing oracle cards. Okay, Rumi is an Italian poet from, I don't know, he might be from the 19th century. I have to do a little more research, but he calls himself like our brother in like spirit. Okay. These cards are really, really, really great. I really like the messages. I got turned on to these by Infinity. Infinity has a channel called Magnetize Yourself. And she's very, very intuitive, very good, very calming. But she used to always pull and read these cards. And I bought them myself. Sorry, not sorry. Oh my goodness, sorry. Wow. Okay. Alusa, Star of Venus. I love it. I love it. I had to cut my nails off, y'all. I couldn't get to the nail shop fast enough, so I just had to get that dip off my nails. I need somebody who does good dip in the DC metropolitan area. Okay. Al Uzar, Star of Venus, number 26, breaking down to an 8, number of karma. Karma. Okay. The number of death and rebirth, transformation, change. What goes around comes around. Okay. It's like the process of planting and manifesting, or sowing and reaping. All right, we're gonna read that. On the bottom of the deck, the right choice, number 29, breaking down to a 2, or the number 11, right? Number 11 represents union, coming together, happiness, partnership, pairs, heavy partnership energy. And that's the kind of stuff that happens. Like, okay, so you're telling me that there's this partner. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not going looking for nobody. Right? We don't chase, we attract. Right? We attract. Celestial Rose of Mine. I don't know why I flipped through this like this. And commitment. Wow. Celestial Rose of Mine, number 10. Commitment, number 31. All right, let's read Aluzar, Star of Venus, number 26. So just while I'm flipping to this thing, I have a desire and a dream to create a panel. I've already created like the interview questions for the panel, like to get people to come on to share their stories. But do you have like a story of karma? Whether it be your own, or something that you witnessed, or something that you may have experienced or saw like years ago and then it came to fruition years later. Like, do you have a story of karma that you could tell to help people understand or learn the lessons that you may have learned or understood from that story. So, like, what did that story teach you, and how did it change you, or how did it better you? How are you allowing it to, you know, support you as you move forward in life? Okay. All right. Aluzar, star of Venus. I am the pure light, my son. I am not a handful of worthless dust. I am not just an empty shell. I am a regal pearl formed in this world. Close your eyes to see and become aware of me. Perceive me with eyes that see the unseen. Come into the mystery to find me. I am a carefree visitor here for you. Rumi. My beautiful one, born of pure radiance, you have love in your heart and a passion for play that cannot be dulled by bleakness, boredom, or fear. Your soul is sensual and dances with life, with utter abandonment and devotion. Though the ways of this world seem strange to you at times, you eventually declare it to be nothing but strange beauty and expand your heart, resisting nothing, to allow all to be bathed in the radiance of your being. You are here to share the light of another world, a blessed world of consciousness, pure and divinity so absolute that it transcends duality and instead brings all into the oneness of the greatest love. Look like I'm crazy. The star of Venus is the great androgyny. Androgyny. Am I saying that right? Neither solely masculine, not feminine, but an integration of both. The power it bestows is mighty and based utterly in love. When this star seeks us out, multiple blessings are bestowed, and our spiritual growth can be accelerated in ways that may be quite dazzling and surprising to our more limited mindset and belief systems. With great blessings, great growth is possible. However, the blessings don't do the growth for us, making it magically happen. They give us the oomph we need, the power and the opportunities and assistance we need, yet it is still we who take the journey. The great spiritual journey for old souls at this time is Earth's history, is the journey from duality to oneness. Many are signing up for that wild, loving adventure. This oracle has come to you as a reminder that you too have been granted a ticket for that journey. This journey of oneness is not about denying duality, but about experiencing it as an expression of one love. It is about no longer being enslaved by it. It is about avoiding what is not wanted in order to pursue what is wanted. Didn't I say that earlier? It is about embracing the all of finding the freedom and joy originally sought, but now through a path that takes you into joy and freedom existing within. To take the great transformation from man or woman into cosmic androgyny does not require that we lose our sense of femininity or masculinity. Rather, they become so superior in development that they cease to be distinguished from one another. Our masculine clarity with this discernment, practicality, and application becomes so tender, loving, compassionate, and tempered with grace that the feminine is integrated with it. Our feminine nurturance, dedication, and connection to life become so fierce that discernment and wise action naturally prevail. With this great androgynous integration of the masculine and feminine into oneness, men and women of this beautiful earth become capable of a new consciousness. It is one based in love, of service to life, of letting go of judgment, stereotypes, and limited belief systems, and of opening up to compassion for all life. As the consciousness is anchored, spiritual growth becomes rapid. So then, what to do? Alzar, the ancient shining one, also known as the star of Venus, holds much power and strength. Even a small blessing of her light is more powerful than the fear of thousands, if not millions of people. She is known as a worthy ally in battle of any kind, even spiritual battle. You must, however, stay aligned with her. You must stay aligned with her way, which is not to fight fear with fear, hate with hate, or anger with anger. This doesn't mean you should not feel fear, hate, or anger. Of course not. Venus denies no experience, so let yourself feel whatever you feel. The guidance is not to stop being human. Take the next step into the divine human, into allowing the star blessing to nestle in your heart so you can shift as you feel the feelings, holding them with compassion, then choosing your own truths that resonate at a far more refined vibration. Wow. The rebellious passion of the star of Venus is that she seeks out whoever is ready to know more fully the truth of divine oneness. Whether the culture around them can acknowledge one of their own becoming more enlightened as a blessing or not, it is a divine gift, nevertheless. If you are stumbling in judgment within yourself, do not fear. The blessing of Venus is coming to you to help you surrender it, to help you find your way through it so you can be free now. Your guidance then is to trust your path, trust your evolution, even in the face of those around you reacting to it possibly in fear or discomfort. Trust in the paths of others too, for in truth, there is one path and we are all on it. You do not have to convince anyone of anything. That is not your job. Your job is to embrace your wisdom, embrace your freedom and empowerment to grow spiritually and live your life accordingly. You are becoming, through bestowal of grace, something more of a goddess and a god, of a human and a sacred animal, integrated as one. This is sacred alchemy, amplified in the star fires of Venus, who loves you as a brother or sister and honors your soul with her blessing. Shine true, beloved. Shine bright. I could go back through that, but I'm sure y'all heard it. I could go back through that and reiterate the passion, the compassion, the trusting your path, trusting your wisdom, trusting your discernment. I mean, I don't want to brag, but just saying. Don't forget the right choice is on the bottom. Okay? Compassion, partnerships, the right choice. So what you are attracting, what we are manifesting right now, or what we are highlighting is the path forward that releases anything that stops us from trusting our own guidance, intuition, wisdom, and the guidance that our ancestors has put in us. It talked about going within, like it gave all the things. So if you need to, I read most of it, but that thing is long, you know what I mean? But now we got green and like this purplish pink out here. Okay. Upper chakra energy along with that heart being the bridge. So that's a confirmation for me that I accept. Okay. Emotionally stable we are. All right, let's get a couple angel numbers and then we'll wrap it up. I see 1717, 2020. One more. I see 8888. Look at that. Personal power. Your personal power. It'd be something else if that number came out. Oh, look. I like how they flip it up. Oh, my goodness. 1414. Did this come out last week? Or was it It was 1441, I think. Light up. Okay. I'm just going to put that down while I just keep going through the deck. I'll read it in a second. But I just got to get through the whole thing. See if anybody else wants. Got one more. 060. Oh, 2. two more. 0606, commitment. I'll read that for you shortly. And 3333, social skills. Another one. All right, last little bit. Boom. All right, 1414, light up, exclamation point. Mood swings, respect, family, constructive outlook, quality. Focus on your needs, desires, and hobbies. Everything is more accessible with a light attitude. You will be blessed with new opportunities, a new friend, or an addition to your family. Good vibes will speed up the process. We're keeping those good vibes, okay? So we can stay in flow, not in force. In flow, not in force. 0606, commitment. Was it commitment? I think that's what it, y'all, I know I'm not crazy. Bro, hold on. Remember when I was playing? I never do that. I never flip through the deck. I saw, yep. What? No, Celestial Rose of Ma. I think, yeah, I saw that. Was that? I think that I saw that. And commitment. Number 31. Bruh. Come on, commitment. Y'all ready? You ready for a zaddy or a mommy? Oh my goodness. Commitment. Wow. Talk about aligning. Okay, 0606, commitment. Loyalty, responsibility, truth, love, light, spiritual realm, growth, solutions. Applying honesty and light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. It's how you find solutions and comfort. Release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. Open up, for the best is yet to come. Is that a confirmation or no? I mean, I think so. Look at that. I love it here. Here in this space. Sometimes I'll be out there and I'll be like, oh, this place. 3333, social skills. Hope, optimism, liberation, success, prosperity, excitement, enthusiasm. The problems you have today will eventually disappear. Your guardian angels encourage you to maintain a positive outlook on life since your luck may be about to change. It is time to put to use your captivating energy and inspirational personality. Don't let your ego get the best of you. So we have light, focusing on your light, staying, true. Focusing on your light, staying true to your light, and tapping into your light, your heart space. See your heart space as that green emerald, that green crystal, that green look. And look, I have turquoise. It's not green, but turquoise. Then I have stone from, they call this Machu Picchu stone, but I don't think Machu Picchu has any green stone. But I did get this stone from Peru. Was I in Cusco or the Sacred Valley? I think I was in the Sacred Valley when I got this stone. Yeah, I was. And then this one here, oh man, I forgot the name of this one. Is this a turquoise? This might be a turquoise as well. I got this from Blue Now, I think. Yeah. Okay. So, bottom of the deck for the angel numbers 1011. Take action. Hope, new beginning, fresh start, lifestyle, purpose, spiritual awakening. This is a call to action to move forward. The sooner you get going, the sooner you will accomplish what you set out to do. Those with patience will eventually reap the rewards of their perseverance. And baby, oh, it's not ringing. Let's try it again. Yes, Ashe. So, perseverance came out last week. And it's on this card. Last word on this card. And we talked about taking action. Aries energy. I think we get it. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or criticisms. Oh, look at this. So emotions are running high. This card is the same print that's on inside the box, bottom of the box. See it? I don't know why that might be significant. Patterns. Oh, pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to patterns. Our own patterns, patterns of others. Okay? Paying attention to patterns. Patterns have been coming up too. That's something that engineers do. Like when you're used to solving puzzles and problems and things like that, you tend to pay attention to patterns. So allow people to show you their patterns. Okay? Allow yourself to get to know someone long enough to see their patterns and how they operate. Okay? This is not energy that you have to go and break your neck to figure out and do all these, jumps and hoops and things like that through all these hurdles. This is just an awareness, something you just kind of tuck in the back of your mind or in your back pocket. And when the time presents itself, you'll have it. Okay, I've been talking a lot about how we're recognizing certain energies. So watch patterns and do not let them get away from you. Do not let that get the best of you, but see them, recognize them, and call them what they are. Okay? I'm going to go, stock market, real quick. All right, so what I've been paying attention to lately is like as the market, because the market was down, because of course we had this issue going on where we decided to go and drop booms on people, right? So what I'm experiencing and what I'm seeing, there's definitely a whole lot of insider stuff going on. I don't want to say too much because, but there's clearly like manipulation going on right in our faces when it comes to this market. The older, certain stereotypes, billionaires that kind of feed off of certain things are cashing out. And I even saw an article, or at least it was from a trusted source, where there was this $1 million transaction that happened just before we did what we did to IRAN. Okay. And those are the kind of things I'm talking about. Now, the crazy part about it is if you pay attention long enough and you actually look at numbers and you realize that numbers don't lie unless somebody's manipulating them. But when numbers are standing on their own and doing what they mathematically and scientifically do, they don't lie. And if you actually pay attention to how these things really impact the U.S. economy or U.S. dollars, you'll realize that we're really not talking about a whole lot. Okay, the math ain't mathing. I'll just say that. And just to give you a couple of clarifications, let's think about, and a lot of this information I get from who I listen to, and I trust them, but they also provide sources or clips or whatever from reliable and trusted sources of this information. But when you think about it and you pay attention, you can see it as well. When it comes to American oil, not a lot of our oil is coming through that strait. Okay? About 20% of our oil comes through that strait some kind of way. Okay? So when you think about it, it's not really worth the trouble. I also heard today that we are knocking down $12,000 drones with $1 million missiles. I think they're $2 million or something like that. That doesn't make any sense, right? You'll go bankrupt trying to fight this. And those folks is ready. They ready to go the distance in a way. And then you want to continue to drop booms talking about open up the strait. The strait was open. It was open. You came and did what you did, so we closed it. Now you want to keep doing what you did and tell us That's the delusion. That's the illusion that we're breaking out of. This smoke and mirrors kind of energy where it's like, I'm doing this to get you to be distracted from what's really going on over here. Or I'm saying this because I know that it's going to get a reaction. And I'll say the exact opposite the next day. Shoot, maybe even today in 5 minutes, I may say something that completely contradicts what I just said. The the mind effery of it all is astonishing. However, we're hip, we're smart enough, we don't get as emotionally triggered. So now we can just see it for what it is and understand how we're going to use it to our benefit, how we're going to use it for our own growth and our own understanding, or even to elevate our families, okay? Whether it be those that are here and came before us, or the ones that are coming behind us that aren't even here yet. So, so I'm saying that to say that as this market has been going down because of that issue, um, there are some. I've been paying attention to who's up and who's staying up. And so the crazy thing is that there was a little bit of good news yesterday. I don't know exactly what POTUS might have said, but I think he basically saying something like the war is going to be over and something like that. Actually, I think he's supposed to be addressing the nation tonight. Anyway, so saying all that to say, energy, oil is included under energy. Okay. Energy has been running up because energy is also inclusive of power and anything that allows us to create. It could be hydraulics, could be in there, and it could be water. Sometimes we use water to create or generate power. So it's like, anything that is providing us with some type of utility is energy. Like I said, it includes oil as well. And it was running up before this all by itself. Okay. So then when this issue happened, you got some people that are going to try to benefit off of it. And something else that I saw, listen to this, was that the US, after all the things that happened in Iraq, okay, Iraq years ago, right? All that oil stuff that we were fighting for, whatever, all that stuff, the deal is whatever's happening with the oil coming out of there, we are paying for. Okay. We're sending money over there to keep that situation stable. Okay. And because those countries are so close together and there's no like border control, people from one place are going to the other place to get contracts and deals to do business. Some of it may not be legit, or some of it could be corrupt, but then some of it might be, but it's a way for them to get those dollars. It's a way for them to get those dollars. So what's happening is we are funding one place for some crap that we started a long time ago. We're funding one place that's actually taking our funds to the other place that we're dropping booms on. It's almost like it's like a circular kind of energy, right? Like circular money. It's almost like you're creating a problem that you're solving. Same thing with the Strait. The Strait was open before this. Now the Strait is closed, and you keep saying, open it. It was open. It was open, and it was still a problem, right? Right. So what's really going on? So a lot of it, from what I can see, is a certain person or people or whoever are trying to set up what they want to set up. They have their own agenda, and they're using this beautiful country, I'll say, to, pimper out to the highest bidder. And it don't matter. It don't matter. They like, listen, it's all green. I don't care if it's morally corrupt or not. It's just very strange when you really think about it. And then, like I said, when it comes to the amount, what's coming out of that strait is not impacting our economy like that. We got our own stuff going on here that's impacting our economy. So I was paying attention to what was going up, and energy was one of those things that was continuing to go up. And then of course when this happened, it it continued to go up. Today, as the rest of the market has been up, energy has been down. And I believe that that's due to this good, quote unquote, good news that the market is, I'm sorry, that the WAR is going to be over soon, whether the straight opens or not. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so what is it all for? It's just, it's annoying. And a lot of innocent people lose their lives and stuff like that, for this foolishness that really has no purpose. None. All right, I'm gonna let that go. So I would say I made a list of a couple of places or a couple of options, not options as an option plays, but a couple of suggestions on where we could be looking to invest. If you're looking, and you're willing to invest. Of course, the American economy runs on tech, the Mag 7. I've shared that before, and you're welcome to, you can own stocks directly with, you don't need all seven. You can just pick two. I would say pick the two that you already invest in. If you already have an iPhone and a Mac and an iPad and iPods and all the things Apple, then you might look to Apple. If you're, an Android person, you might look to Google. Meta's there too, but those are the companies that run the American economy. So whatever the economy is doing, those companies are also doing as far as the ups and downs. Okay. We'll get more into levels and things like that when I realize, like, who's really interested in things of that sort. But long story short, gold also took a hit, which was very interesting. That gold was running up, and then when this happened, it was like people were selling off. I could not. That was kind of interesting. But it continues to stay up. Um, like I said, I'm just paying attention to who doesn't do what the market's doing. That's like, who's, when the market's down, who's doing the opposite. Now, granted, those things are going to, change from time to time, but that's why we want to have a diverse portfolio. We want a portfolio that we can situate ourselves in a way that we are able to gain, um, more overall, versus putting everything into one bucket. Okay. And that's what happens sometimes when certain things may be down, other areas may be up. So I say gold, energy, uh, SMH, SMH is also a semiconductor ETF. So it's running up because of the AI and the chips and things of that sort. Wait, no, hold on, my bad. That's not that's not SMH. TSM. TSM is a semiconductor. No, SMH is a, I'm right. SMH is a semiconductor ETF, and then you also have TSM, which is Taiwan Semiconductor, and that's where all of these semiconductors come from. That's where they are created and made, and then they go out to these other companies that take them and do whatever they want to do with them to code them to their own liking or, you know, design. Um, who else? XLU is an ETF for utilities. So as long as AI is running up, utilities will run up. Okay, energy, even the metals, aluminum, silver, gold, copper, those things will continue to run up. Those things definitely run up when people lose faith in the American dollar. And that's what's happening as long as we are fighting these BS type of fights that really aren't really helping us as a whole. It's helping one little guy or maybe a handful of little guys that don't care. And it's like, oh, well, I got a buddy that will just push the button. So let me tell my buddy to push the button and I'm going to go make a bag real quick. So that'll be the next thing or hopefully be the next thing, because it's literally happening in our faces. It's so obvious, and the crazy part is that it's getting away with it. But it's the blatancy of doing it in our face on TV where it's recorded and people can play it back. Like, that's the stuff that's just like, wow, Barack Obama would never. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. He could never. Yeah. So if you're more interested in that, I can go more into like, okay, well, here's who is up, and here, we can talk about levels. The goal ultimately is to create a stock club or an investment club where we meet every week and we are finding price points that we can invest in so that we can make our money work harder for us and we can maybe chill out a little bit. That's it. Like I said, I don't have too many price points right now because I still want to do some charts, but just understand that there are accounts, contracts that we can get that will be doing the opposite of the market. Like I said, it may not stay like that forever. We also are looking to run certain plays anywhere from 3 and 4 months to like 6 and 9 months, a year out. Like I say, at the most. I'm learning that you can really make your 20 and 30% in a few months. Okay, depending on who you're buying with or who you're investing in and when you're investing with them. And when the market is down, that's when we're supposed to, jump on it. Not load the boat, not put all your savings into it, but really looking at key levels or key entry points that will allow us to be at a good position for the upswing. So when we do go up, which April is supposed to be a month where things tend to go up, I've definitely witnessed it after April. And then it was supposed to slow down in the summer last year, but it didn't. Last year, of course, it crashed in the summer because of the tariffs. But typically, April is an up month. You may get a little pullback because that's when it's tax season, and a lot of the hedge funds and those kind of people are putting money in the market. So you may see some things pull back a bit and then spike up, but it usually will continue to go up until like end of summer or whatever. And so I want to be able to benefit off of that. My positions have been pretty like neutral, so it's like I'm up, but I'm almost kind of like not breaking even, but I'm barely up. You know what I mean? But I know that's because of all the things that have happened, and things have, I don't want to say crashed because it's not the right word, but things have come down significantly. But they will go back up. But as long as this crap is going on, I don't see it happening. So I don't think it's going to last long. I say hopefully maybe 90 days, no longer than 9 months. I know that's probably like a big gap, but like just kind of being prepared to ride the wave, because there will be these ebbs, there will be these lows that we kind of have to live through. And if we're in a position where we can invest more, then we can dollar cost average and lower our average, so that when it swings back up, we have a chance to increase our profit because we were able to lower our dollar cost average. All right. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if you want more, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you, but God loves you more. And over here, we stay connected to the ones that sit high, look low, and see everything. Anything you need to know about me will be in the description box. You can send me an email at booknow@myspot.healing.com. That's my spot with an I. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram under the same name and title. I post inspirational, educational, informative, encouraging posts as much as possible. Definitely big on the transits for the week, giving us just encouragement to stay in flow. And thank you for coming out. God bless you. Good night, and I'll see you next week.